Okay, we're live, everybody.
Okay. Well, welcome back to Adventure Hook. It's been about a month since we had our last game. Sorry, everybody. I was in super apocalyptic deadline time trying to wrap up my second issue of Suicide Squad Blaze. So got that done last Tuesday, ready to get back to things. I am your faithful Dungeon Master, the Wanderer, Aaron Campbell. And with us as usual, let's go around the table.
Hi, I'm Marc Andreyko, writer of stuff, angry guy, inappropriate humor, and I'm Char the Fire Exarch.
Hi, I'm Joe Annabi. I am playing Geza Akos, the Celestial Exarch Birdman.
And I'm Joseph Millard, your friendly neighborhood rascal and the baby boy of the group. And I play the biggest, toughest rascal, tough man you've ever seen. His name is Craucus, and he's a half giant, and he'll smash you so good. Better watch out.
My name's Emelie O'Hara. I'm a half-elf bard.
Hufflepuff.
And I'm Robert Randle, and I play Ma'ak Ka'ari, a Thry-Kreen telepath.
Okay, so I guess before we get straight into things, anybody got any announcements or anything that they'd like to, or questions? Do we have any comics talk we wanted to jump into? I haven't seen Batman yet, so I can't. Let's not go down there.
Haven't seen Batman. I really like Emily's hat. I think it's really cute, and I like it a lot. I don't know if I could pull it off.
When did you become a 14-year-old TikTok girl?
Me or Emily? I'm riding high on some energy today, and I've been reading a lot of just really boring terminology today, so I'm feeling a little silly. But yeah, this is what I get when I need.
For any of our viewers, because he probably won't pimp it, you should definitely go out and get the first issue of the Aaron Campbell illustrated Black Label Suicide Squad book.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Blaze.
Go get Suicide Squad.
It's a fun read, and even if you don't like the script, just look at the pretty pictures. It is gorgeous.
It's good, man.
Thanks,
good
Mark.
writing, good art.
I like that script.
And
Yeah,
I got a sneak peek at his cover for an issue of Something is Killing the Children.
that's bad.
That's
bad. though.
gorgeous.
No, yeah, that it's
The
finally
cover.
in
I'm just talking
previews,
about the
Aaron.
cover. I don't read the book.
Oh, it is. It's
Oh, it's finally in
man,
previews.
I've been sitting on.
It's in this month's previews, and it looks awesome.
It is.
Yeah, I did that cover like
Like a
last
year ago.
summer.
Yeah.
You need to, when comic conventions come back, you need to make prints of that for sale at your table. Because
Oh,
Yeah,
I
dude,
know.
it
I
looks so
totally
good.
do.
it's an absolutely stunning image with no context. It's just
Thanks.
gorgeous.
Thanks. Shucks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't lie. I would tell you if I thought you did shitty stuff.
Yeah, no, the art, the work that Aaron is like getting into now, stellar. Being a part of Something is Killing Children, stellar. Suicide Squad Blaze, probably the best Suicide Squad stuff there is.
Awesome. Yeah. Oh, and then my book West of Sundown will be out at the end of the month, 23rd. So, and that's my writing debut. So, be kind to me.
And you got that A cover art. Yeah.
I've got
Yeah.
a little tiny bit of preemptive news that
Ooh.
Oh,
by the end of March, I may have an announcement about a TV show.
A TV
awesome.
show? I've seen television.
Awesome.
Wait, are you writing all the new episodes of Law & Order SVU, Mark?
No, I'm doing the original one. I'm doing the reboot of the original. I write
yeah.
the cha-chung.
Oh, yeah, you
That's all
wrote,
me.
instead of it
That's
being
all
chum, it's now chung. And what are we going to do about the words Dick Wolf, just between you and me?
I don't know. That sounds
Leave
like a
them
drag
there.
name for a drag king.
It is the Lord of Drag. If your name is Dick Wolf, you are the Lord of Drag. Anyways, any
okay.
other news?
I don't know. Anybody
Why
else?
did Quentin Tarantino get kicked out of his podiatrist's office?
That's so funny.
He got
Why?
off on the wrong foot.
Oh, Oh, God, I really expected something real because I'm a dipshit, gullible buffoon, and I fucking walked right into
I'm sure he's probably been removed from a podiatrist's office for that exact same thing.
just
So.
walked face first right into Mark's fucking joke like an idiot. Like the most idiot person who's never met Mark.
It's like you're new or
Yeah.
Okay, I think with that we should probably get going here. So since last time, the group has leveled up. So we've got some 4th level characters now. We've got a couple 5th level characters now. What we forgot to do last time, which should empty out our little jar of karma beads, is actually have everybody pick their karma beads. So we're kind of going backwards. So let's start with Mark. Where do you want to put your karma bead? Just so you remember, your arc is still full, so I have yet to unleash your
Full arc
in
hole.
balance a more positive arc result, and you've got 2 in inspiration, and right now campaign has been completely wiped free because of the terrible things that happened last time, and signpost is already full. So kind of, it looks like campaign is the only place that you could put it, kind of up against a rock and a hard place. So
I like being told where to put it.
Why?
Hey,
so
good.
extra horny
A
tonight.
blue,
I
positive,
was raised Catholic. I like being told to do
Yeah.
things.
Oh yeah.
positive,
Yeah.
blue karma bead. So that's a good result. Okay, so
That was for campaign?
Campaign.
So Char has been a good little boy, and he got his Jesus cookie. God, how can I not remember what those are called right now?
Communion wafer.
Communion, yeah.
Your communion.
Body
Yeah,
of our Lord
communion
Jesus
wafer.
Yeah,
Body of
Christ.
Char's been
Sin.
such a good little boy. Take your communion. Take your communion and
Kosher
stick it in
cookies.
your campaign.
I don't think that's what I meant when I said the coming of the Lord.
Well, wait, hold on for Crocus, because we're going to Geza right now. Geza has 2 positive blue karma beads in his arc. Inspiration is empty, and you also got campaign.
And then you haven't started the leveling jars yet? That's a new thing that's not real yet?
Yeah, I gotta empty this out, and then I'll dump in the new set of beads that are all right here.
But
So-
no, you were talking about making new jars for individual character
Oh
leveling?
yeah, and I'll once we go through this, I'll give our viewers a quick overview of the little change I'm making to how
Okay.
karma beads work. Because keep in
Spoilers.
mind, this is all a work in progress. So things will get retconned and changed because we're basically playtesting a 5e version of Dark Sun that does not exist.
Yeah.
So changes are likely to happen, and we'll deal with those as we go. Okay, so where would you like to put yours, Joe?
And I don't get to know what the bead is.
No, you just got to grip
not
it and rip
yet.
it, big dog.
I'm gonna grip it and rip it. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it inside my personal one.
character
Arc.
arc.
Character
Arc or
arc.
inspiration?
I follow
no,
the
my
strongest
character
personality
arc.
in the room, and
Character
that's
arc.
currently Emily.
A
Ooh,
blue bead. That means
Ooh.
3 blue beads.
Bluebies.
So something good's coming Gez's way. Okay, Crocus.
What do I
Crocus
have?
currently has 2 in arc, 1 in inspiration. So we decided that you can have up to 2 beads in inspiration.
Okay.
So you can do inspiration, you can do arc, you can do campaign.
Emily, where do I stick it?
You know, I'm not the person to ask.
Mark, where do I stick it?
That's the person to ask.
Is it your birthday?
No.
Then somewhere not interesting.
Okay, you heard him, Aaron. Stick it in the least interesting of the 3.
Well, if it's DM's choice, I'm going to go with arc, especially since you got a big fight coming up.
All right, stick it
It
right
is
in my
a
arc hole.
blue. It's a positive. It's a good
Nice.
karma bead,
Nice.
which
All
puts
right.
you at 2 good, 1 bad. So you're going to have. It's going to lean good, but there might be a little setback
Hey.
coming your way.
2 steps forward, 1 step back. I'll take it.
Yep.
little salt in your sugar.
I
Hey,
love a
so
salty
Em-
sugar.
Emelie, you currently have a full arc of all good beads, nothing in inspiration, and we have campaign open. So you can go inspiration or campaign.
Didn't I already get my blessing in my campaign arc? Is that not empty?
Oh,
Her character.
was it? Oh, right.
Character.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
Personal
yeah.
campaign.
Oh, right,
Other
because you got the drop on pressure, and we're able to turn him to your advantage.
Yeah.
So you are correct. So we're going to take those and get rid of them. I don't know where to put them.
And then remind me what inspiration is.
Inspiration is an actual 5e mechanic that allows you to get advantage on a roll of your choice, or you can bestow that inspiration on somebody else as well.
If
And
you
that
have
would
a blue bead, if you have a
Yeah.
black bead, then it's the opposite.
Yeah,
It's
So
giving disadvantage to somebody.
Yeah, so you can either take advantage for yourself, or a companion, or somebody else, or you can bestow disadvantage on someone, depending on what kind of beads you get. Remember that the inspiration beads go back into the pot once they've gotten used.
There's so much math.
I found.
I mean, you don't have to.
Go
You
with your
really don't
gut.
have to concern yourself with the math of it all. That's me. Just, wherever you want to put it.
Okay, so how many more does our campaign need? Because I thought our campaign had 3.
Campaign's empty.
So now it has
can't-
one.
No.
It has one.
Oh,
Because
okay.
Has one good
it was full. You had mostly bad karma beads that resulted in the awfulness of last session. So now you have one good karma bead and 5 more to go.
Oh, put it in campaign.
Okay.
Big money, big money.
No,
Oh.
No!
Black bead.
I knew it.
I don't know who to blame for this.
And last but not least, Marc. Marc currently has 1 in arc, a bad karma bead in arc, and that is it.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
so you're
I'm gonna
basically working
do-
with a clean slate.
Second one in arc.
Okay.
Not black. Not black. Not
Black.
black. Damn. Zomort's gonna murder you.
Yeah.
Okay, and that takes care of that, and now I can empty this out, and I can dump in the new beads. So, okay. Okay, so, and real quick, just because I already kind of went over this before we logged on with the group, but for anyone watching, the adjustment I made is I realized that the group isn't all the same level. We have 3 characters who are 1 level lower than like Desi and Ma'ak are now 5th level, and the rest of the group are at 4th level. So because of that disparity, I realized, well, if we stay with the way that it is currently, they will always be 1 level lower. So now I'm going to divvy it up more individually. So basically, it's going to be unique to each character. And you have to get as many beads as the level you're trying to attain in order to level up. So as it stands right now, Kraukus, Geza, and Cha'ar, you each need to get 5 beads to get to 5th level. Desi and Ma'ak need 6 beads to get to 6th level. So, and I'll keep track of that on my side.
But
We're starting fresh now.
Is that starting now?
That
then?
is starting now because what we just rolled for was for the actual leveling that would have taken place last time. So we're all fresh slate. So at the end of this session, as long as we don't forget, because we keep forgetting to do this, or I keep forgetting to do this, but that'll be your first beads to start advancing towards your next level. And what that allows then is for individuals to theoretically catch up. And again, if you get that bonus XP, you get to get that bead. So you get that as a bonus on top of your guaranteed bead at the end of the session. So, and again, it's not necessarily guaranteed that you're always going to get a bead at the end of the session. It's really about a milestone. So if we don't attain the milestone that I was trying to get to, then it might take 1 or 2 sessions. But typically, it should just take 1. Okay, so having said that, You can see that I've abandoned the attire of the Wanderer because it was kind of getting stale for me, and I just want to have a t-shirt on. So I am still the Wanderer, though. Theater of the Mind. And let's see. I don't really have any Wanderer, banter to do this time. So why don't we just dive straight into it?
Let's dive in.
Yeah. So, flavor text time. The Clutch has suffered a devastating setback, and Tyr has suffered an even greater tragedy. Defilers have unleashed a terrorist attack upon the people of Shadow Square, calling down elemental forces that resulted in the horrific slaughter of countless lives. Their target, the Obsidian Orb, entrusted to Craucus by his dead Rais Ivan. The presence of the orb during the attack was exactly what the Defilers had hoped for. Without the necessity of attunement, their magic was amplified beyond imagining. Try as they might, the Clutch could do nothing to stop the terrible onslaught, and ultimately were forced to relinquish the orb, knowing the Defilers were willing to sacrifice every living thing in the city to acquire it. Hundreds have died this day, but how many were saved is impossible to know. At the heart of this tragedy was the doppelganger Shazar, known to the Clutch as Baprazah Yanto. He futilely attempted to placate his own conscience by delivering potions of protection to the group, but in delivering the orb to the Defilers, he has once and for all sealed his fate. The party will surely hunt him till his dying day. There is no punishment worthy of his crime. What the Defilers plan for the orb might be uncertain, but the threat they now pose is perhaps rivaled only by the dragon himself. So the group is still in Shadow Square, tending to those who are still alive, using up every last healing spell that you seem to have. Amongst the Exarchs, Geza and Cha'ar.
So,
tending to the wounded. Yes.
On that, I don't know if Char is using his healing spells, just FYI.
Okay, well, I know that Geza was from the end of last session, was attending to those wounded who seem, to be still savable.
And a question on that. I have Spare the Dying as a cantrip. How many people can I spare from dying?
Well, you could do it once a round. So
every 6 seconds, I run and touch another person, and
that is remind me. They have to have
it stabilizes them. Here, I'll read the actual thing. I touch a living creature that has 0 hit points. The creature becomes stable. The spell has no effect on undead or constructs.
Okay. What I would say is 0 hit points. The question is, how long after they reach 0 hit points would that actually work?
Don't they bleed out? How does
Yeah, there would be... it would be people who are actively dying that have... savings throws to roll, basically. So it would be a 30-second minute window, depends on how close to death they were.
Basically, you would have as long as 6 rounds to use it on as many people as you can from the moment that they die, because they get up to 6 rolls. So, because it's 3 of each. Well, would that be no? It would actually be 5. It would be 5 rounds, because by 5 rounds you would know one way or the other if they're dead. So yeah, you could basically, if that makes sense, right? Yeah, you would have 5 rounds to administer to as many people, and that would give you 5 people that you could administer to in that time period.
So you said Micah was dead last time. So Micah is probably the nearest to me.
But you could. She definitely fell down unconscious.
Oh no, not
seemingly dead.
not a
Sap.
Roop. A Roop was alive because I gave her the drink.
Mhm.
Oh, right. Okay. So, and Micah, they looked like they died. They were not incinerated. So there is still a body, but they are unconscious, seemingly dead or bleeding out. So Micah might be an individual that you could possibly save.
Yeah. So Micah, and then whoever the next 5 closest people are, which I don't know anybody else's names. So whatever.
Yeah, you would know. Like Arup and Micah are the only ones, and yeah.
So
Micah
Micah plus DM's choice, 4 more people.
Okay. Well, when you rush over to Micah, you cast it. You stabilize them, and where you are, you're basically amongst the rest of the Verdant Revival monks. So theoretically, there's more than 4 more individuals amongst the Verdant Revival who are lying seemingly dead on the ground.
Do you know what I realized that I had that I've never used?
What did you realize?
I'll tell you. It's a thing called Song of Rest, which says if you or any friendly creatures who can hear your performance regain hit points at the end of a short rest by spending 1 or more hit dice, each of those creatures regains an extra 1d6. So if there are folks that are wounded, I'll probably just be some sort of wandering wraith with the instrument that I have not yet decided I know how to play, walking among the wounded.
Yeah, and in Athos, you would have pipes. There would be
The
kind of
hurdy-gurdy.
lute type instruments that are made from like shells, bones, flutes, whatever. No worries. You can continue to think about what kind of instrument you would like. We'll just assume that whatever the instrument is that you're playing it. And so, say that again. What is it? How does it function again?
It's one huge sentence, so bear with me.
It basically gives you an extra die 6 over the hit die that you spend on a short rest. So you get a bonus die 6 hit points back on a short rest is what she does.
Oh, but you have to be engaged in a short rest
But everybody right now is in a short rest. They're all sitting around injured, right?
Right. Cradling their wounds and whatnot.
Mhm.
Yeah, but you need to go through the hour.
Yeah,
in
so
order
it
for
wouldn't
to
be
work.
quick. But I got a
So,
lot.
but
of
you
guilt
you
for-
can start playing with the intention that perhaps you'll be tending to the wounded for probably the next hour.
or several.
Does the target range, it hits anybody or just members of your party or
If you can hear it,
anyone who can hear it? Okay.
you just
Nice.
have to hear it.
So and that
good.
would cover just about everybody in Shadow
Everyone
Square.
in Shadow Square for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now, the issue. Anybody else doing anything at this moment?
Did anything
Char?
outside of Shadow Square get assaulted, or is just in here?
That's a hard thing to say. Loss of life definitely extends to the boundaries of Shadow Square, but you can see still people are fleeing and screaming in terror. It's still complete chaos around you. And you can see all plant life around Shadow Square is dead. There were palm trees, there were several palm trees around the well itself, and then there's palm trees kind of around the boundaries of Shadow Square, all dead.
How
Potted
big
plants,
is
dead.
Shadow Square around, like diameter?
300 feet square.
So it's
So-
a football field.
It's still
remember how much plant life was killed just with a minor spell.
It was
by Bap.
500 yards radius.
Yeah.
And that was for Bap's first level spell. His little burning
Yeah,
hands.
not for meteor showers.
Not for meteor shower and firewall and ice storm and whatever the hell they threw at us. In theory, if that orb amplifies magic exponentially, you take what happened with Bap's first level spell and you times it by 9. You know how far that is?
That's that entire map.
5.2 miles.
That's if it works like that.
If
if
it
it
were
works like
exponential.
that.
If it were exponential.
It theoretically, every growing plant in the tier region, all that farrow, everything could be devastated right now.
if it's not exponential and it's still just 500 yards, I think it's just a greater impact on anything within that space. There's a lot more
And
living creatures.
every living creature should also be dead, because if you remember, that orb sucks life force from the things around it.
Yeah.
We all
It's
felt
actually
that.
something
it's possible BAP's potion protected us from necrotic damage or whatever that actually is.
'Cause none
but
of
in
us had
theory,
life
everything
drain
should be
either.
dead right now. Everything.
Was that intentional, Aaron, that none of us had life drain either?
It's based on, you were basically shielded from the magic that they were casting. So theoretically that would shield you from the life drawing energy of the orb itself.
But we still like fell to its con check or con save. Like we were like knocked out by it, or like
Yeah, you were
No,
getting
that was a
knocked
sleep
out.
spell. Right?
Oh, it was a sleep spell
because
additionally.
Ma'ak was immune.
Oh,
Well,
I didn't know that.
you were immune to the original effect of the defiling magic.
No, I took hit
can-
point damage like
can-
everyone else.
No, you took hit point damage, but you didn't fall unconscious.
You didn't
Right.
have to do a con save at any point
Yeah.
during any
Well,
one of these.
okay,
things.
yeah,
'cause you're
but
immune
I don't
to
think
sleep.
That's the same thing as the sleep. The sleep was a sleep spell then too. The Yanti tried to cast it on you guys.
No,
Oh.
it was the orb that caused you to fall unconscious.
Yeah, I thought they were con saves that
All right,
like
whatever.
we were
Yeah,
unconscious from or whatever.
yeah.
Well, regardless, we didn't have life drain, and we can assume that anybody who wasn't protected by this juice did.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a question about thaumaturgy. I can use it to make my own voice louder and to make made up sounds. Can I amplify her music to make it reach a wider range?
You could. You can't do it while you're also casting Spare the Dying.
Sure, but she's going
that's
to be
a
doing
minute.
that for an hour, and I'm going to be doing Spare the Dying for whatever, 30 seconds or a minute, however long.
I'm probably going to be doing it for several hours.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be doing this
Yeah,
until,
once you, it
like,
would
everybody
amplify
talks.
her voice. Yeah.
Or her instrument.
Yeah.
Then-
The instrument. Yeah.
Should I also pick you up so your voice can carry even further?
I won't fight you if you do.
Okay.
What are you singing?
Or are you singing, or is it an instrument?
I thought well, let's see what it says specifically. But what I envision is something along the lines of both. Performance. It's described as a performance, so it would probably be singing, and I imagine a lute. Emily, just commit. It's gonna be a lute.
Okay. If you are writing a song about this tragedy that just happened here at Shadow Square, I think this is the sort of thing that should be remembered. Possibly with a dirge.
I just real quick, I would say that this song has to be incredibly positive and uplifting, not a dirge.
Not a mournful?
Yeah, not a
Okay,
mournful
well,
dirge.
fine.
Danny boy.
And
Yeah.
whatever you need to do to get their
Danny
spirits
boy.
up.
Just the vibes.
No, this is X gonna give it to you. So I'm going to I'm going to assist in your performance so that you can get advantage.
Yeah. I mean, certainly, I would say certainly keep that in mind, because this is a horrifying event that
Yeah, no, exactly.
should not be
So,
forgotten.
And there's something very key to take away from this event. One is that the Defilers were in under the Templars' nose, acting with impunity, thumbing their nose at Kalik, too busy building his pyramid to defend his people. Secondly, it was the Verdant Alliance or Verdant Revival,
Verdant Revival, yeah.
who was the target of their magic, not us.
Oh, so
that's
you're
the
trying
spin?
to create a
A
spin.
narrative, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I will solidify it.
So mechanically, I'm gonna be picking up Desi, and I'll be like humming and thumping my chest in time, so that I can create like a deeper baseline to help assist her in her performance.
Okay.
So
And all of that is being amplified, which I have to recast, but not concentrate on the casting. It's just a cantrip that lasts for a minute, so I'm just re-amplifying every minute.
Oh,
and
okay.
in between, I'm going around and healing who's healable.
Okay. And Char, finally, what's Char doing during this?
I think I'm not sure if these are the right spells, but I have some cure wounds spells and some mending. So I don't know if those are only to be used on myself.
No, mending.
Mending
Mending
is
is
one-
like you
one
can
off and
repair
cure
a
wounds is out.
backpack.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
fix furniture and walls and shit
Oh.
like that.
Yeah,
Rip
mending
clothes.
is just mending's a great spell if your clothes are dirty, or got a tear.
Yeah, if you need to sew some stuff.
or you need to put something back
But
together.
on second level, do you have prayer of healing prepared?
No.
Okay, so then you would just be using cure wounds at either first or second level, or both, if you, depending on how many spell slots you want to dedicate to that.
And I also have create or destroy water. I could be making fresh water to help people.
Yeah, I mean there is also the well, which ostensibly
I would
still has
think-
defilers at the bottom of it, but
I would think burn all your spells on healing, save the lives of anyone you can. Marc has been doing something else during all this time, but I'm saving mine for last. I want everybody else to go first.
okay. So yeah, we'll just kind of go through. Basically, you can in the time basically just burn your spell slots. I mean, burn as many spell slots as you guys want in order to heal as many people. And Ma'ak, what was he doing?
Okay, well, in that first couple minutes of chaos, right, when we were doing triage, Ma'ak wasn't going near the verdant revivalists. He was looking at other people. Anyone who was alive, he would have kind of drug over closer to Char. Anyone who was dead, he'd take their money pouch. And so I imagine within the first couple minutes, he has quite a few that he's now stuck away in his satchel, with the promise that he will buy them vengeance with it.
Okay,
That's first step.
Okay. Ooh, interesting.
I mean, aren't all the Templars unconscious?
Well,
I should have some time.
the Templar who were in Shadow Square, which there were like a handful kind of observing the Verdant Revival, making sure that they didn't kind of get out of line. Probably about a half a dozen or so.
Mhm.
So you can definitely pilfer from them.
Are they dead?
Some of them are dead.
Okay. If I find one alive, I won't take his money pouch, but instead Ma'ak will, and he'll say this in Thrycreen like it matters, right? But he's speaking to the spirits. And he says, "You spirits who curse the orb, you spirits who curse Craucus with this wasting disease that travels from victim to victim, leave now my clutchmate Craucus and enter this vile man." And I'll, basically put his stinky fingers, because he's the last to handle that orb. He'll basically just try to give this guy Craucus's
Flux.
and then he'll move on and he'll loot someone else who's dead.
But this is flavor. You're not.
It's
you're not
flavor.
doing
It's a
anything.
curse,
Yeah,
but in
No
theory,
spell.
the way you described it, it moved from person to person.
yeah.
And so he's trying to be like, this guy, take this
And
guy.
the orb was up Craucus's asshole, so
Exactly.
I did
So
do
it's
that,
like-
didn't I?
yeah.
The provenance, so to speak. Oh, I do think it's funny, Aaron, that no less than 3 PCs had literal stink fingers by the end of your last session.
That's a good game. That's a good game.
Okay, so let's see. Let's roll some d12s just to figure out how many ceramic pieces.
He's not going to count it. He doesn't care.
Well, but
Just take the heavy one. You can
just
count it and tell me later.
just bookkeeping.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
We're going to say that you end up with in that time 40,
He's hoping for silver, but he'll take what he can get.
40 ceramic pieces,
Nice.
and it's going to be
He's going to Vegas now.
4 silver pieces.
Fuck yes. Okay, I will buy you
now
vengeance.
the one thing that I will say that there are weapons on the Templar. All of the weapons.
Yeah. Does he have iron? Does he have iron on him?
No, none of these Templar have iron. They are obsidian daggers. They are all the same, however, and they have the emblem of the tier Templar on all of their weapons.
I had that smuggler's pouch. I'd take one, but I'm not risking that right now.
Okay.
I'm going to leave that there for now. Okay. One quick question. Scanning the Shadow Square and all the taverns that were nearby. One, you said the Giant's Rest was the one that Shazar finally identified as the secret haven of the Veiled Alliance, right? And actually, so did the big bad evil guy who was mind linking with me too. They both said it was that place. Is that a smoking ruin now?
No. I mean, like the physical structures around Shadow Square, for the most part, are fine.
Fuck away from that place. That's tainted. If that was a real hangout, that'd be a crater right now. Okay. Second, Ma'ak makes a beeline back to the place we first encountered. I'm sorry. Omalara. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. When he gets there, as quick as he
can. It was
the
rat's nest, yeah.
It wasn't the rat's nest. It was a fine dining place.
Oh, right. Shit. Well,
whatever,
anyway.
That place.
Yeah.
Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay. Was it affected by the Defiler magic? I.e., when we go in, are all the fruits and stuff, have they all been desiccated?
Yeah. Everything's shriveled and gray.
She's still there? Because she was enjoying her dessert when we left her, or about to. Probably her second course. Is she still there?
Let's see. First, let's give her a save. Okay. And second, let's see if she booked it. She is not there. There is a back door.
What's that?
There is a back door out of this place.
Ma'ak tries to put eyes on her.
Okay, well, I mean, you run to the back door. It opens up into an alleyway that goes off in multiple directions. She may have split as soon as shit started to go off. It's hard to tell. So,
I will ask the bouncer.
The bouncer is dead.
Is anyone around?
There are lots of unconscious people. There is at the back of the building, like in one of the rooms off to the side where the kitchen is, you can hear someone moaning and crying for help.
Okay, well, Ma'ak helps himself to a few, plump money pouches from dead people, and he'll go find who's making that noise.
Okay, it's a cook.
Okay. He's not in my clutch. I keep looking.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, other than that, like, it seems like everybody else is either dead or unconscious in the restaurant.
God damn it. I can never find anyone useful when I fucking need them. We need her. Their trail's going to go cold.
Whose trail? Wait, what trail are you?
The fucking defilers who are down at the bottom of the well. Isn't she the master of the under tier? Doesn't no one know the ways better? Who could track them if not her?
Oh, okay. I
and by the way, I'd like to recommend that the party spend signpost on this.
Okay. If you want to.
But that's just my suggestion.
I have speaking of tracking it.
You can. It's an even Steven signpost. So. Something good, something bad, or something good, something not good.
I have a question.
Okay.
So I know that locate object wouldn't work on it if it were in Bap's bag. but would not locate object work on the smuggler's pouch itself.
Oh.
Because I know that smuggler's pouch well. It was in my possession.
Give me an Arcana check.
16.
16. Okay, so it should work on the smuggler's pouch so long as Shazar himself does not have some kind of non-detection enchantment on him, which does kind of seem likely at this point.
It was smart.
A non-detection enchantment on a person would make anything in their possession undetectable.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
Like-
I can't imagine that they didn't plan for that.
Do you want to use
Well-
signpost?
Sure.
Everybody else?
Yeah.
Consensus? Okay. Signpost. Okay, well, Ma'ak, you're in the restaurant, and the cook who is moaning in the kitchen starts to crawl towards you and reaching up, calls out to you, please, help me, please, water.
Fine. I'll take him and is there water here somewhere? I mean, it's a kitchen, right?
Yeah, there's actually a
Okay,
big
I'm not
clay jug.
Rule. He just, he's not going to spend a lot of time on this guy. He'll prop him up somewhere near the water, hand him the bowl, whatever.
Okay.
Let him drink.
Drinks and drinks and drinks, and then asks you, what happened?
Magic. Bad magic. Lots dead.
He looks around, and he sees like everyone lying around unconscious, and looks over and sees someone, and he cries out, "Hum! Hum!" And you see someone lying you didn't notice before in a small alcove behind a curtain. Just the feet are sticking out. And you hear someone go, ugh, ugh, and this curtain is right next to the back door.
Oh, okay. Let's peek around.
Okay, so you peek and you see someone. It's a man, older man, rotund, and finely dressed. Has the appearance of perhaps the proprietor of this place. And you can see he's kind of lolling back and forth, a little dazed, but he's like, his eyes are kind of blinking. He's alive, but he's out of it.
What's the cook doing?
The cook is trying to get up to go over and see Taham.
All right. Well, I'll help him then. Whatever he needs, I'll help prop the guy up, put him in a chair, thrust a cup of water in his hand or whatever.
Yeah. After a few moments, Ham has regained his composure somewhat, and seems to be coming back to his senses.
You're alive. Good. Lucky.
Yes. He holds his head. Oh, my head. Oh, I feel like everything's been sucked out of me.
It has. Bad magic.
Where did last thing I saw was fuck. Damn it, I totally spaced on her name. Remind me, Rob. Omalaro, right.
Yeah.
Last thing I remember, Omalaro, did she do this?
Well, you think that.
Because I felt it. And then the next thing I know, as I was collapsing, she was racing out with several bags, probably our entire take for the day in her hands, at the back door.
You're the Cyanosist? Telepath? You telepath?
No, I don't have that kind of
You
talent.
mind link with me and Sherman?
Yeah.
All right, I will bring him into meta concert. Just me and him. Everybody else has been shut out for the moment, so it's just me and him. And then Ma'ok's voice comes through loud and clear. Picture what you remember seeing as clearly as you can.
He was in the back, basically uncorking a new barrel of wine. The room that he stands in has a lot of clay amphora filled with wine. Next thing he knew, he felt this tightness in his chest and this horrible pounding headache just overwhelm him. And he felt like all of the air was being sucked out. He stumbled towards the curtain, drew it out, and as he looked out, he said things were starting to go bleary, but he could see Omalaro was tossing, was in the kitchen, had tossed open their lockbox and had like taken everything out of it, and was like racing out the back of the door with all the money they had made so far today.
Wow. Wow. Okay,
and he tried to stop her, but he couldn't. He couldn't get any words out before he collapsed.
Mark will ask, do you have any idea where she might have gone? She's a well-known thief, is she not?
Yeah, she does business in the Bard's Quarter. I think she also lives around there, but I'm not sure exactly. But I know that she does business in the Bard's Quarter, and she gives you a name of like who her fence is.
Oh, okay, excellent.
And
remember that very
the
clearly.
name of her fence is a mole by the name of Zanyan.
Zanyan.
Xanyon.
Zanyan the fence. All righty. In the Bard's Quarter, you said.
In the Bard's Quarter.
All right. You have a general estimate of how much she took from you?
I think we were somewhere around 50 silver for the day.
Even Ma'ok knows to be impressed by that number. Worth it to you to have it recovered?
I mean, of course. And like, it's also like the money we keep on hand. We probably brought in about 20 silver today, but we always try to keep plenty on, and she knows. She's been trying to get into our lockbox for years. We always keep a close eye. Friendly rivalry, I guess. But she saw her opportunity at last.
Interesting. It's funny. She probably took a lot of her own money back. Tell you what. We'll make a deal. If I can recover a portion of that money, or at least have her brought to justice to your satisfaction, in recompense, we are going to want to have a standing invitation that you will always feast my clutch when we visit your establishment, particularly gladiatorial victory feasts. Agreed? All we can eat.
If you can bring it back.
All right.
Yes.
We have an accord, and I will scurry back and find my clutchmates.
Okay. So outside, Ma'ok goes inside now. As you guys are outside tending and doing triage, after about 4 minutes, you can see on the other side of Shadow Square, opposite from the ziggurat, to your back, you see probably about 20 Templar race in to the edge of the Shadow Square, and they spread out and you hear like probably their captain yell, "Round up everyone alive!" And they start spreading out and grabbing anyone who can stand. And then you hear the same individual yell, "It's those Verdant Revival fucks! Make sure you get them too! They're probably the ones behind this!" And they start racing in your direction.
Before this happens, I think even though I know that he might have had that non-detection spell, I would have used a second level spell to try to cast Locate Object on his pouch just in case there was a chance.
Okay.
So that's one less healing spell that I would have cast, but whatever.
Okay. And unfortunately, your suspicions are confirmed. You can't get a beat on it.
Okay. Cool. And I assume there are more injured people than spells to heal them?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's hundreds of people.
Okay. Just needed to know that for my spell use. Okay, cool.
Okay, but at present, there's about a dozen Templar racing in your direction towards the group of Verdant Revival, who are still recovering and coming back to their senses.
Did we determine whether or not Micah was dead and irrecoverable, or is he on the mend?
They are stabilized.
I was able to stabilize, and I would have healed Micah as well. Any of the Verdant Revival that I stabilized, they would have gotten a group heal, a prayer of healing.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Craucus and I are anywhere near Micah, because if we are, I think we should pick them up and leg it.
You're in that general vicinity. You're real close. You can get to them.
Micah and Arup are both there.
Yeah.
Then I would say I would probably say to Craucus, grab that one, and I will point at Micah, and then I will say, just run.
I will grab that one, and I will run. And I grab that one, and I run.
Okay, and then which way are you running towards? Let's.
I just start fucking running.
Just so you know,
she told me to run.
I'd
run.
Yeah, if you look at the map here, you entered into Shadow Square from this northeastern. Wait, that's not northeastern. I have it turned. We'll just say this
right
exit,
corner.
this road up in the top right of the map.
Okay.
Because I have the map all turned, so I can't remember which. I think that's actually southeast. The southeast corner of Shadow Square. Anyway, the only path that leads off towards the ziggurat. So, are you heading back? The question is, are you heading back the direction you came into Shadow Square?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you start running. Everybody else?
So you picked up Micah?
Yeah,
Yes.
I snagged him.
Is Arup following them?
Yeah. She's well, not yet. She's actually running to the other Verdant Revivalists and basically yelling like, we need to go now. The Templar are coming. They're going to take us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm out of spells. I've done what I can here. I back her up and make everybody, run, join in the fleeing.
Okay, and the Verdant Revivalists
not
don't
get
need
arrested.
much. Yeah,
I mean,
the Verdant Revivalists don't need much prodding either. They all start to run, and they separate. They must know the drill because they all take off in different directions.
Scatter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Templars are not their fans.
Now, Ma'ak, what about Sha'ar?
You're muted, Mark.
I'm going to need some advice from the group as to what to do. I'm continuing to help heal people, but I'm not sure where I'm best served.
You and I would both have been out of healing spells
Yeah, I think
by
at
the
this
time they
point
got there.
you've used up all your spell slots. So,
Or as many as you wanted to, at
Yourself.
least.
yeah, as many as you wanted to. Just cross off however many you want.
Okay.
Theoretically, you could have used all of them if you wanted to.
Right. Geza used all of his spells. One of them on a locate object that didn't work. But otherwise, they're all gone.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, I assume you're running with us?
Sure.
Okay. Mock, give me a perception check.
Sure thing. All right. Sorry. Perception. Yeah, I'm actually not skilled at perception. But that is a 17.
But that's enough. You can hear everything that was just happening outside. You can hear the yells of Templar.
Oh, okay. Good. Do I see Crocus's head like bobbing above the crowd? Can I? Like, spot
Yeah. When
him,
you glance out through the front, yeah, you can see a giant running out.
Is he running towards the Templars, or is he running in my direction?
He's
Because
running.
I'm in the southwest or whatever. Or
Yeah, you're on the south
lower
side.
left.
Yeah, you're bottom left, he's top right.
Yeah, top right. So
Is he
as you
coming
look
my
out,
way,
you
or is he
can.
running away from me?
No, he's running basically same direction as you came into Shadow Square.
Oh,
He's running
okay.
back out.
I will mind link with him, reconnect meta concert, and say, Crocus, wrong way. Come towards me. Turn around.
I turn around. I start running the exact opposite direction.
Yeah. Do not get arrested by the Templars. Okay. However,
Wait. No. Sorry. Just the Templars were coming in from the
Other direction.
opposite side of where.
so
Crocus is
they're
running.
closer to where I am then.
Yeah, they came this big path down here in the bottom left of the map. That's
Okay.
the direction that they came
Okay. Then
from.
record scratch. All right. I will reconnect with Crocus. Crocus, run quickly. The Templars are here. Do I also put eyes on Sapphire? What do they call themselves again? Sib Sapphire. Do I see that person?
Give me a investigation check.
Sure thing. Ooh, and a nat 20 gives me a 28.
Okay, yeah, you can see Sib, or not Sib. Well, I mean it's Sib Sapphire, but yeah, you see Sapphire, and they are running basically directly away from you to this exit off the top of the of Shadow Square on the that would be the east side of Shadow Square.
Excellent. I will maintain meta concert, reconnect it with my clutchmates, but I will follow Sapphire and not Crocus.
Sib Sapphire was, I believe, the one who was conducting the sermon.
Yeah, the high priest or the highest ranking revivalist, quote unquote, we've seen so far.
And Sib is a term they use to refer to each other instead of brother or sister. It's Sib.
Right. It's like neutral. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's a gender neutral sibling. Yeah.
So yeah, I want to continue to track them.
Okay. So you're gonna follow Sapphire, or
I am.
Okay, so
I'm
leaving
maintaining
the rest
meta
of the
concert
clutch
with my
Okay.
clutchmates. I put eyes on Crocus, so I should be able to just get everybody back in, right, or whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm not following them. I'm following Sapphire.
Okay, so I'll extend the positive aspects of the signpost so that as you exit out of the restaurant, you actually come out behind the Templar. They've already run past you, and so as you run out, and you're, as a Thrycreen, you're already fairly quiet when you run because your feet are so little, and you can basically make a beeline for it behind them and through the still chaos. You can see like Templar still are like, as soon as they get in there and they start to spread out and start to try to round people up, you can tell like there's too many people for them to do this efficiently. So it's just adding chaos to chaos.
Yeah, they're not going to figure anything else out.
Yeah, so off you go north, and you can make it across. It's going to take a couple rounds.
No, I'm
even with Dash.
I eventually imagine that I'm going to be like the cool NPC in someone else's story as I like come out of the alley and initiate a conversation with them. It's kind of cool.
All right. So, rest of you, you can you make it out of Shadow Square. Where are you heading?
I'm just running, going with my gut unless someone tells me.
I think the second we're clear, I'd probably say, look casual, look casual.
Okay.
And just a quick, just so you see, as you exit out of Shadow Square, you can see there are still dead and dying and unconscious everywhere. And it's not until you round the corner of the ziggurat that and basically come into sight of the outer perimeter of Iron Square that you start to see the number of unconscious and dead and dying start to taper off. And
can you zoom out?
Yeah. So Shadow Square is right here. Shadow Square is right here. Here's the corner of the ziggurat. So the main part of the group has run out and run up around this way, around the corner of the ziggurat. This right here in the top right hand of the map is Iron Square. So this is the way that you came from before. And it's not until you get right about kind of halfway from the corner of the ziggurat over to where the stairs that lead up to the top of the ziggurat itself and the path that leads up into Iron Square itself, that you stop seeing dead and dying and unconscious victims. In terms of plant death, you actually, it's interesting. It's reversed from what it was in the canyon. Plant life, the death of plant life stops somewhere right around the corner of the ziggurat, maybe a little bit past it. So give me Arcana checks for those of you. Yeah, and I'll give it to Mock too, because you're also fleeing out of this radius, and you'll notice something similar as you are fleeing as well.
I am not trained
where you are.
So do I roll at a disadvantage?
Or
not at
yeah,
all?
I think that was my home rule. If you're not trained in a proficiency, then it's a disadvantage roll.
All right, that tracks. Got a 4.
4, okay.
I got 23.
23?
Thought we did away with that, but anyways, 11
Did
is
we?
not enough anyway.
Okay. We can think about it, but for now, let's just assume that
I think
in the
if you
chaos
remember,
you're having
there's just
trouble
nowhere to
thinking
go from there.
Yeah. Well, just like let's call it disadvantaged because of the fact that like it's the chaos of the moment. It's hard to think and it's hard to concentrate. So if you're not proficient, you're going to be at a disadvantage in this moment. Okay, so 23. What did Geza get?
Oh, I didn't roll another disadvantage roll, so let's see.
Just Arcana.
Yeah, so I guess a 13.
13, and not disadvantage for you because you're proficient, right?
Not in Arcana.
Oh, okay. Well, then in this moment, you know what? Then fuck it. Fuck it. We'll just say it's just a regular roll. So don't worry about disadvantage.
15 at a regular roll.
Okay. And Sha'ar?
Does I got a 9, but does the black dot next to Arcana in the proficiency mean I have proficiency?
Yeah, and that will automatically add your proficiency bonus, which in your case I think is +4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had 9.
Since you're
level 9. And then what was Mock's?
Oh, I rolled an 11.
Okay, so then Desi is the only one that kind of has the clarity of thought in this moment to come to the conclusion that this must have taken its energy from the living creatures in Shadow Square before it took life force from the plant life.
Oh, I see. So it was
theoretically
it was a spell, not a force spell.
So theoretically, the hierarchy is that it's going to take from sentient life and animal life first before it reaches into the plant life and the flora. It goes after fauna first and then flora.
So that actually means that Bap wasn't so evil as to take from fauna first before it took from flora.
Well, he didn't
Bap
have any
didn't know what he
control
was
over
doing.
it.
Yeah, he
Bap
didn't
know
have
what he was
any
doing.
control.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't even know the orb was there. None of us did.
Half sucks, and will die when I see him next.
Agreed.
Okay. So having said that, let's see. Why don't we take our mid-game break? Let's do a hard or soft 10 and
Hard or
come
soft?
right back.
However you want to go.
Think about in that time. Everybody think about where you're going. So the group that all fled together. Think about where you are going to. Are you going to return to the Gold Nynix? You're going to go somewhere else, and then I think Mock already knows what he's doing. So,
But we are in Metaconcert, and so are you. So
Okay.
we can discuss telepathically if you like.
So we'll be back in 10 minutes.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. We're back.
We are back, and Joe Annabi has some questions that we're going to address real quick before we get back in the swing of things.
So I was bad at spell management and just being aware of, this is my first time clericking, so, or exarching, if we will. And something that we said at the beginning, but I never clarified because I never really looked into it. I tried looking to see if we did talk about it, and I don't know if we did or not, but the flux. You said that no healing spells were working on it. Does that include lesser restoration, which cures disease and curse?
It would have stuff like lesser restoration. Well, you'd have to test it. And have you tested it?
I thought you did.
Right. Well, the fact that no healing spells worked on it was something that happened as pre-game text, and it didn't actually happen as a thought process for me. And then all I had as prepared spells at that time were healing spells. I didn't actually have a restoration prepared, but as I'm looking through my spell list, I have restoration that I easily could have swapped out at any point and tried to use, and I imagined that I would have.
So okay, so we'll say this. Lesser restoration, all that it does against this flux is temporarily nullify the effects for an hour.
But it doesn't dispel the disease or curse or whatever. There's something bigger than a disease or a curse there.
There's something else going on.
Okay. That was all. I just needed to make sure that like that was actually like not just bad playing, but like built into whatever the flux is.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, and like for Craucus, he has the flux. He's got the runs constantly.
Yeah.
But because he's a half giant, it really doesn't affect him the way that it does puny humans.
Well, and there's also the secret of his wild talent that also may explain why he's survived what should have killed a lesser giant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's his wild talent?
Oh, he hasn't discovered it yet.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't know it
So
yet.
there might be something in there too.
That's interesting.
And what I will say is that the pain in your lower back is getting worse.
Yeah, we discussed that during the last session, and I think Char, for the first time of any of us, saw this like black nodule on his spine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which, that was when I was like, oh, I wonder if that's a disease vector, then maybe I could have lesser restorationed it the whole time. And I imagine I would have tried that if it was a big problem to save.
And we can say that you do, and it is, Craucus has such a monumental constitution and strength that he has diarrhea like constantly, but that's really the extent of it. He's not suffering from the effects of exhaustion the way that the rest of everyone you encountered with the flux were.
Right.
And the same thing with Ebon. So
yeah, so I tried the restoration with Ebon, and it was a temporary fix, and it still didn't like stop it from aggressively declining his health.
Yeah, you bought him like an hour, and that was so that you could have had that your farewell,
Right.
Goodbye kind of thing.
Yeah.
You guis played out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Just want to make sure
that's
that wasn't
that's
a
good
plot
way
hole
about
that I made.
that. No, and that like we can like there's always like that's very very campfire stuff too like we just have there's so much shit going on things are going to get forgotten, so I have no qualms with retconning anything that we accidentally overlooked.
I think I thought restoration
Making sense of the story.
Yeah, I think I thought lesser restoration was like less powerful than it is, but it says it does like cure a disease or curse. So I was like, oh fuck, I probably should have asked that earlier.
I'm pretty sure that lesser restoration I did make a homebrew retcon of that spell for Dark Sun, but I will have to go and look. So
Well, I have. I mean, we have it, and when reading the description, it seemed like a thing that would have worked. If it weren't a bigger problem.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because my issue. Oh, that's right. Lesser restoration does not affect poisons in Athos.
Oh,
Because
but
if it
in
did,
D&D Beyond, it still says it does, I think.
Yeah. So erase every reference to poison in lesser restoration, because a second level spell, restoration, would nullify the entire bard class. So
and then what about
restoration?
What about all the spells about like purifying food and drink and detecting poisons and protection from poison, all that stuff? Does any of that work?
Man, I got to go back, because I know that I thought a lot about this months ago, and I've forgotten all of what I thought about. And I think that a lot of that is over in the Fantasy Grounds stuff that I was
Which we no longer
on.
have access to.
Yeah, I mean, I can still load up my account because I'm pretty sure there's still free. Oh, we just got somebody gave us a bonus. We did that.
Ooh.
Yay. Thank you, whoever gave us just 10. So yeah, let's put a pin in that. But any spell effects that work against poisons are going to be extremely limited in Dark Sun, because of the fact that it would make the entire bard class useless.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just put a pin in that, and I'll remember that, next time I'll make sure that I go through and figure out like wherever, poisons have been, basically nullified by 5th edition, and see what makes sense. Okay, so having said that, let's get back into things. First, I'm going to go to, as you guys continue to think about where you were fleeing to, the main part of the group, you still have with you Arup and Micah. The rest of the Verdant Revival fled off in different directions. You're not sure if any of them managed to get captured by Templar in the chaos of fleeing. And let's jump over to Ma'ak as you flee into the street off of the east side of Shadow Square in pursuit of Sapphire. And you are able to catch up to them quite quickly.
Okay.
Now,
At
by
this
the time
point-
you actually catch up to them, you're still within the radius of death and unconsciousness. So it's up to you whether you want to trail or...
At this point, I
Whatever you
don't
wanna
want to
do.
be noticed. I just want to keep eyes on them and trail them.
Okay.
More or less to see where they're going, but like I will eventually talk to them, but I actually need to talk to my clutch mates first.
Okay, so basically you
So-
follow Sapphire up through this winding path that comes off the east side of Shadow Square, and when they get to this T intersection, they turn to the left.
Okay.
And start
Well,
heading that direction.
I've not been there before, but I'll just keep trailing. I imagine Ma'ak can keep pace, right? So
Yeah, you are basically heading into a section of the city known as the Warrens, and you've heard it referred to
okay.
quite a lot since you've been here. And Shadow Square, even though it sits kind of dead right in the middle of the Warrens, or kind of on the edge of the Warrens, Shadow Square is a bit of an oasis. So you didn't really get a good sense of exactly how destitute the Warrens really are.
Okay. So
Until
this is
you
like
actually...
slums.
Yeah, this is fucking slums.
Gotcha.
And
All right.
probably about 50% of the buildings you pass by are derelict, caved in, but you can still see the impoverished masses living inside these derelict, caved-in structures. Most of them have no roofs. They just have portions of walls with bits of like sackcloth for roofs. It's terrible.
What about
the
dead
stench
and
is
dying? Is it still
overwhelming.
this far?
As you turn left and you head down the street then turns at an abrupt 90 degrees to the right, back to the east. Once you get to that corner, that's where you start to see things tapering off.
Okay.
And it's just panicked people, not knowing what the fuck is going on.
Mm-hmm.
The stench is terrible. It smells like piss and shit everywhere. It's awful. You've never seen anything like this. There's slums in Uruk, but you never really went to them.
No, I got captured at the gates pretty much, right? And sold into slavery. So I probably didn't see much of Uruk. Certainly not what it was like to live there.
Yeah.
So,
this is your first experience in your current life with urban decay.
Oh, Ma'ak is like, you sleepers choose to live this way? Anyway, what we'll say is, as this is happening, right, as Ma'ak is seeing these sights and walking, he's been in meta concert with his clutchmates. And so the voice of Ma'ak comes through. He says, "My friends, I am deeply troubled. I find myself in a terrible position. For even now, despite all evidence, it is in my nature to still, despite himself, see Bap as clutchmate. It is still in my nature to trust all of you implicitly. It is in my nature to die for you without question. And yet, it has been revealed to me now, for what seems to be the third time, that you sleepers know nothing of Tok Chat. You know nothing of what it truly means to be in a clutch. And so I must ask you all, Aaron, also I should say, Ma'ak's voice comes through with a slightly, not that they would notice, but a slightly augmented form of meta concert, shall we say? And he will ask, are all of you truly capable of the same? Could you betray your clutchmates as Shazar did?
You guys respond?
No.
You would die first.
Yes. Unless fully betrayed.
Geza's hanging back. He's waiting for. He's letting other people speak.
Is he?
Well,
You've been with Bach longest.
I am offended you would ask that after all we've been through. I'm sorry that BAP made you have a lack of put a chink in your confidence.
No, Char. It is you I owe the apology to. You told me all along I should not have trusted him. It is my love for you all is chemical. If you do not love me in return, then I am enslaved to you all. Do you see?
And just a quick a little aside, Ma'ak would probably use the word innate, inherent, or ancestral rather than chemical, because chemical isn't a word that even exists.
Right. Well, I mean, it's pheromones is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I think the issue at hand is that we are not on the same footing as Shazar or Baprasa, as we initially knew him. And to put us on the same footing is troubling for probably all of us, because none of us would have put him on the same footing as you.
But I had no choice. We had made Ma'ak. He saved our lives. It does not matter. Don't you see? It does not matter.
Look at the town square and see all those dead people. It does matter.
I know. This is why I am
Everybody
so troubled.
Everybody give me history checks, except for Ma'ak.
Okay.
8.
21.
20.
20. And Desi?
21.
Okay, so Geza, Cha'ar, Desi, you have enough interaction with Thrycreen to know that they have this weird hang-up. Once they make a bond with someone, and that person is inducted into their so-called clutch, it is almost a physical bond that is incredibly difficult to break for them because of the way that their social structure is formed amongst themselves. And you know that Thrycreen treat other species as if they were Thrycreen, not realizing that the Thrycreen are utterly unique and alien from the rest of Athasian races.
Right. When we're making clutches, like all these pheromones are going off, like all this, like, you know, chemical stuff is happening. And, you know, that's happening to Ma'ak, but not to you guys, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's why he's finding himself in this weird one-sided position, because he still weirdly wants to go save Bap. Bap fucked them, but he was, in his mind, he was trying to do the right thing. And so it was like, no. So Ma'ak is now in this like crisis mode. So does Geza or Desi say anything?
I have more to say, but Geza continues to let there be pregnant pauses because he doesn't want to. He's hesitant to give his full mind on this yet.
Uh-huh.
Well, Char isn't. I'm a bit confused by what you just said. You said, are you guys willing to die for me and put it on us like we have been disloyal to you? And then
No, you are not
Then
disloyal. This is the problem.
Let me finish.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, good.
And then in the same breath, you say you feel bad for Bap. The fact that there's any doubt in you about where mine and Gez's and Desi's loyalties lie, you're the one that I think, in addition, owes us an apology, because if you hadn't been only meta-concerting with Desi before the thing that happened in the town square, if it had been all of us, it might not have happened. Because remember, outside of the game for a minute, I was like, when I heard you guys talking, I'm like, oh, what about this? And then it was like, oh, well, you're not included in it. So you've continually showed us a lack of trust that has had negative consequences. And I'm not saying that, I know you're not a bad entity, but look more inward. And I get that you want to make that you pheromones and connect with everyone, but is your species so connected like that if someone fucks you over after you're connected to them, you would still stay with them?
Yes.
No.
How are you not extinct?
I mean, you have a pact breaker.
At
You have
this
the pact
point-
breaker.
Right.
If that wasn't a
situation.
pact breaker,
Fair.
if that
Sorry.
wasn't a pact breaker, I don't know what it is.
No.
Yeah.
It absolutely was. And
But
I think that's probably
I think a good way to think
about.
about this is think about Ash in Evil Dead 2.
Okay.
Bap, like when a Thrycreen inducts someone into their pact, their physiology towards them creates a physical connection, and that pact, that clutch mate, becomes like a new limb for them.
Mm-hmm.
And when that limb goes bad, it's still part of their person.
But you must amputate an infected limb or
Yeah.
die if you keep it.
Yeah.
No,
But that's
you're-
that's still a big ask
This
to
is
amputate a limb.
Bap directly is responsible for all these dead people. We can draw a straight line back to him. If that's not enough for Mock to say
well, okay, I'm not arguing that at all. I guess what Mock is trying to say is that he his nature got the best of all of us, because he could not help but continue to trust Bap. Even when you were saying, hey, we probably shouldn't trust him, you were right. And that's what Ma'ak is now saying, is that he does not understand sleepers. That's why he's asking, are you all capable of betrayal? Is it so easy for you? In his mind, you spend a third of your lives unconscious with your throats to the sky. If anything, you should value Getok Chat more than Wheat Cream. But you seem only too willing to stab each other in the back. Chance was one, now it's back. So that's what he's asking. Is this just what sleepers are like?
That to me just sounds like a lot of rationalization, and I'm apologizing for you not understanding the apologies. You saying you guys are all of you shitty like this one person in the same breath.
No,
that you're
Mark
saying
has to ask to. No. It's not that you're shitty. It's that are you capable of these
but you're
things?
Presenting.
I guess what Mark, I'm trying to get to some role playing here. Right, yes, the idea is that Mark is coming to the realization that you guys are.
Wait, one at a time. Let Mark finish what he's saying.
I don't like being accused of being disloyal when your trust of other people who you were warned about caused this destruction. Oh, it's insulting, and you might not mean it, but the way you are posing your questions comes off as, oh, so all of you are motherfuckers, right?
Yeah.
You confuse me. And
yeah, that is probably how it comes off. That's fair.
It's coming off like a haughty asshole.
Yeah.
So
hopefully it's coming off a little more like a creepy, weird alien person who doesn't understand your people.
But I have to say, what I'm going. That's exact. I mean, like the way that Mark, this is so dwarven. This is so dwarven what you're saying right now. Yeah, and if there was ever going to be heads, it's dwarves versus Thri-Kreen. I mean, it's so, it makes so much sense what's happening right now. Okay, so Rob, now you respond to that.
Okay, so I guess what I'm trying to do in a role-playing kind of way is Ma'ak is coming to the realization that you guys don't have these pheromones. You're not automatically bonded. Your bonds are based on different things. And he has to now learn what those are. What is your loyalty actually based on? And it's based on the more human stuff, which I'm hoping Ma'ak gets to learn.
Acts,
right?
Trust.
Okay.
Also, I got
the difference between Mock and between me and you, Mock, is that dwarves form bonds based on who has proven it, who has proven our trust. You do it; it's a biological thing for you. So. I don't think we'll ever agree on this, but because I don't automatically trust someone because my sweat told me to. I trust someone based on what they do and what my instincts are. And your way of including people in your clutch is strong and deeply ingrained and biochemical, but it ain't necessarily it hasn't worked great so far in my what I've watched.
I am inclined to agree with you. Hence my distress, because I must now ask myself, are we truly clutchmates?
Well, I think we are, but that's on you.
I would like to think very much that we were. If anything, I would like to suspend my own logic concerning who is trustworthy, and instead ask you, Cha'ar, to tell us who is trustworthy, for I clearly do not know.
Okay, I know you're a bug person and we use different words, but the way you posit questions comes off in such a condescending way. You are like, well, I use logic. How do you people do it? What is the way you do it? And you're presenting it like first of all, you didn't use logic because you were warned multiple times about this guy. And then saying you use logic, and then after a clutchmate betrays you, you're still loyal to them. That's not logical.
No, okay. No, it's not.
It wasn't logical.
It definitely hurts Ma'ak's little brain right.
It's physiological. It's
because he's like, how could this happen? Is really what he's trying to get his head around. How could this possibly have happened? We were clutch mates. I saved his life. He saved mine. Like, aren't we cool? Right?
Well,
and we're not. So that's
Marc, give me a quick little intelligence check.
All right. Oh, whoops. There we go. That is an 18.
Okay. Well, this is your second experience with this. Pact breaker who worked with Zumwort and betrayed and caused the slaughter of your entire clutch.
Yeah.
So this is and that was one of your people. He was a Thri-Kreen.
Right.
And if a Thri-Kreen can
he's
do
the one
it,
we don't understand. We don't get why he's doing what he's doing.
yeah. So even if Ma'ak himself can't understand what makes a pact breaker, you at least understand that it's not only possible amongst the sleeper races, it is possible amongst your own people as well.
Mm. All right.
And yeah, you don't understand, like, you have never had your opportunity to talk to Pact Breaker the way that you're having a chance. I think probably what it means is that you might have a moment where you realize that these questions you're asking right now are the questions you want to ask Pact Breaker, and you're projecting it onto these sleepers.
Mm. All right. That's probably fair.
Geza does speak up. And he's like, honestly, I think Char brings up a lot of thoughts I've had on my mind. I am trying to be respectful and understanding of our differences and the cultures that we come from. But I'm also certain that the way that today was approached was the incorrect approach. And I think that we all have our histories and our loyalties that we come into this with. Kraukus and I have a history. You and Desi have a history. And I don't expect that to be different than it is. But I have noticed and really not commented on the clutch leader concept. And I don't think it works. I don't think it works in this scenario in the way that it would in the Thri-Kreen culture. And I think controlling information and not disseminating it, making the in-group and the out-group doesn't work for a pack. I don't know how that could work for the Thri-Kreen outside of a royalty hierarchical agreement. Hierarchy doesn't work for me. We work together because we have shared ideals. We work together because I think that you're good. And I think that all of us are good. And I think that we want our shared goals and our shared ideals are what keeps us together. Bap didn't share our ideals and our goals. And even before we knew he was Shazar, we knew that he was tenuously tied to us. But after the reveal of his true circumstance and his true personage, it was clear to all of us that he was maybe, to Char, he was clearly beyond redemption. To me, I had a sliver of hope, but I would not have put us in a situation where not everyone knew what we were walking into. And I don't want to say that what happened today is your fault exclusively. I'm going to put that weight on Shazar's shoulders, but I think that we as a group could have handled it better if we all knew what we were walking into.
I agree with you. I'm not arguing at all. If anything, what I am trying to establish here is the methodology to prevent someone else from joining the clutch who should not be there. And that I would trust someone implicitly who I should not have. I will regret meeting Bap for the rest of my short life. and probably in the lives to come.
Well, I'm going to say this. Okay, so
Well, can I respond?
yeah. Oh,
before we
yeah. Please.
I had been planning for some time now, and was hoping to have the opportunity to relinquish of my own will position of clutch leader, but if I am stripped of that dignity, perhaps I deserve to be. I hope to never be as disloyal as Shazar, but I think it is proved that I perhaps will do more harm by being in this clutch. Definitely by being clutch leader. I don't want to be disloyal. I have no ill will to anyone in this group. But I don't work well in groups, certainly not leader of one. I never have before. And the calamities that has happened today to me deserves, there is a price that needs to be paid. And I am wondering just how much I need to pay.
I think Dej will sort us all out in time.
Just to be clear to Mark and Desi, I am not saying this is all your fault. I'm saying that the lack of communication and the selective inclusion of others led to this. This is ultimately the fault of the people that did it.
We kept it from you deliberately, knowing you disapproved of Bab.
But that's not what teammates do.
You're right. It is not what teammates do. It was what tech
that's why I
do
think
when they are organizing their packs. That being said, it was my error. Mine. That is what I am trying to take ownership of. I feel completely responsible, not just for BAP, but for the orb, for all of those deaths, for the destruction of the gorge fruit. I thought I would be paying for that for incarnations to come. The deaths today, how will we ever pay? How will I do not know.
You've got to stop going from 0 to 60 on everything. We are all responsible in some way for what happened. And the outcome might have been the same if we were all included. But we need to communicate with each other all the time. If there's something that you cannot share with us, you need to reevaluate why. Is it because of a lack of trust in us, or is it something in your past? Because we have got to have open, honest, direct communication. This is not about blaming anyone. This is not about trying to make you feel bad or rend and tear your garments. But it's something that now that we can take a breath needs to be taken care of. It needs to be done. Because otherwise, we're five or six strangers working independently, just happen to be in the same geographical area. And I know that's going to be hard for you, and I'm not insinuating that it's easy. It's something we can work on, but it would be much better if you would say, "Hey, I want to have the meta concert, but I'm not sure who should be included." You know, talk to others about this, other than just Desi, because it became very much like a clique sort of thing, and isolation wise, and not being included on the mind link before all this happened could have changed things. It could not have. When I say that, I'm not saying those deaths are on either of you or us. It might not have changed things, but we weren't given the opportunity to prove how good we are as clutchmates to you. That's what the thing I'm talking. But that's the thing that most bothers me, because I think we've all proven that we would die for one another, and that just felt like, wait a minute.
I see your point, and perhaps I am just so wounded. I want the whole of Athos to feel what I feel. This betrayal, it was unconscionable. I do not understand, but I resolve to never let it happen again. And if you still see me as your clutchmate, no, there will never be a veil between us again. I will share all that I know as best as I am able.
Well, as
And
Geza
that we
said,
will all
think
make
we think
decision
you're good,
together,
so-
which is also the way of the cream.
Now, okay, so I'm gonna say this. Like, as this conversation is happening, Metaconcert, you guys are still making your way. Now, real quick, the main part
Oh,
of the
this was
group,
all meta concert. We weren't actually like.
Yeah.
talking
Mock isn't even
No,
nearby.
this is all in our minds. There's
yeah,
Oh
this
my
is all
God.
happening in Metaconcert. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
And I'm
Mock
going
was
to
ready
still-
to leave if
Mock
you guys
is
said he
still
wasn't clutch anymore.
Mock is still following Sapphire. Now, you
Mhm.
guys are making your way wherever. Where were you heading back? Were you heading back to the Golden Nynix? Were you going? Where were you guys
That's what
going?
my plan was. To
Okay.
kind
I
of-
would actually advise
Recruit.
against the Golden Onyx because the Defilers were posted up there ready to kill us there if they didn't kill us in Shadow Square.
Well, the
So they got what
Defilers
they
were,
wanted.
but
They're gone.
yeah.
I mean, what? Did they call them on the cell phone? I don't know. I mean, they might still be there. Whatever. It's probably fine.
They've got
they,
their
they got
orb.
what they wanted.
Yeah, the thing that the goal has been achieved. So I think we're.
And I'm
we're
close
better.
enough with the woman who runs that place that she would put up. We have a secret.
Oh, no.
handshake.
That's,
put a
I'm
little-
afraid of putting her in danger is why I would
Right.
say
Oh,
that.
don't worry about that. She'll be fine.
All right.
So here's
She can take care of all
here's
of
the here if anything, this take it as you want, but in a sense this becomes sort of the true horror of this entire day. As you make your way out of the radius of effect of what happened, and you're still on the boundary of where people have had their life sucked out of them and they lie dying in the ground, no one fucking cares beyond the radius. You see people standing like at the threshold of their homes and businesses, looking out at the people who have collapsed, just outside of their radius, looking, turning, getting suspicious, going back inside, closing their doors, locking things. No one is fucking helping anyone. And in fact, you see situations where people, there are some people even walking and stepping over the bodies of individuals who have fallen in their path. Do not fucking care. As you're having this conversation inside your mind, which, if anything, offers some glimmer of hope for you as the clutch, because as you have this conversation about empathy and understanding and trust, no one around you seems to have any of those thoughts, have any of those cares. There are very few individuals outside of this radius who are reacting in a way that gives you any hope for humanity inside the city of Tyr.
Is that a magic thing, or is that just the
It's
way
a-
of the people?
It's New York
It's
City.
It's
there's
an
some-
Athos thing, and Char and Desi would know it well. Char, Desi, Craucus, and Geza. I mean, obviously culture in Nibene is different, and Desi culture in Uruk is a little bit different. But Uruk is even more hardcore. Uruk is like fucking war central, and only the strong survive. Char, you've been to Tyr often from Kled, because this is where you get all of the timber for the mines, and you oftentimes oversee those transactions, and you know that this is a city of cunts.
But would we who know the city think that, or would we think because they're all have such hopelessness, it's just protecting, it's just keep your head down?
It is.
Or-
I mean,
or is
you
it a-
know it. You definitely do know enough that it is. It's about. I must keep myself.
Yeah,
they're
it's self-protection.
cunts by
They're
necessity.
not mean girls. It's self-protection.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there are those people.
Or of
There are
course.
definitely those people, and there are a lot of them. And Bap is one. And it makes so much sense that Char is the one who has been warning about Bap from the very beginning.
Sure.
But because you just know the preponderance of evidence tells you that especially merchants, merchants should not be trusted. And Bap was a merchant, like at least you thought he was a merchant, and then he turns out to be what he is. So like know that there's a thin line. There's a thin line, and it is a rare occurrence. It is an incredibly rare occurrence that you can gather together a group of individuals, 5 people, who actually give a shit about anything. So, like, that's something valuable. Even if Ma'ak is, as far as Char is concerned, naive and focusing far too much on his biology rather than his ability to
discern reality.
It's more about his assumptions, really.
Separate his physiology from reality. All of that, there's so much value in what exists between the group of you. It isn't worth blowing up because
I don't think none of us were saying that. We just wanted.
I'm not. And I'm not saying that you were, but you just because that like it feel like obviously Mock was on the verge of saying like, if you're all like this, I gotta fuck off.
Because it's just gonna happen to him again. You could get Ma'ak to do anything for you.
Yeah,
I think that's what's clear.
Yeah,
Ma'ak, go kill this person. Okay. Like he wouldn't think twice. He'd do it.
But
for
the thing,
and it's like, go kill that Templar.
Market
right?
filing income taxes.
The thing, Rob, the thing that puts the pin in this for you, for Ma'ak, during this meta concert, you are still following at a safe distance from Sapphire, and you're winding your way up through this alleyway. And if you look on the map, you see this like little like U-bend with a bridge that goes over it. That is a dry riverbed.
Huh.
And that's a bridge. And as you come out of this towards the end of your conversation with the rest of the group in your meta concert, you look out in front of you and you see this bridge. And it is architecture unlike anything you have ever seen. Mm-hmm. Now give me an ancestral check.
Okay. That would be what, history at advantage then?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just roll it twice. I don't know how to give myself advantage. Okay. A 16 or a 12, so 16.
16. You have a vague memory from a very distant life of a society of elves who dwelt in Athos thousands of years ago. And when you look out in front of you, you see their architecture and you realize that this bridge, you have not yet seen all of Tyr, but you can't imagine that there is anything in this city that is older than what you're looking at right now.
Right.
Or more elegant.
It's a green age construction.
It is a sweeping, elegant bridge of unimaginable beauty. Of course, it's deeply rutted by time and wind. But sweeping arches, the bases of elegant, like the plinths that once belonged to the elegant sculpture of the elves thousands of years ago, before the Sorcerer Kings. And as you approach it,
the desert dwelling nomads built that thing?
They did.
That blows my
mind. And you realize like it suddenly connects because this is a aha moment because you've never seen elven architecture So you've never awakened this memory before. And the memory awakens in you. And you have this glimpse of a city that existed here probably 2,000 or 3,000 years ago. And it was beyond splendor. Spires reaching hundreds of feet into the sky, elegant, sweeping arches, sculpture unlike anything the world has seen for ages and eons. And this is the lone remnant that you've seen. And below is the dry riverbed. And as you approach, you become so captivated, you lose sight of Sapphire. And then you look down into the dry riverbed, and all of your exalted feelings come crashing down. At the bottom of the riverbed, beneath the bridge, the sand is soaked red with blood of ages. The sand itself, it's not wet.
Okay.
The sand itself is just red from how much blood has been spilled upon it. And you see posts lined up side by side on either side with chains hanging from them, shackles at the end of them, shackles at the bottom. The posts obviously exist to hold prisoners. And then another memory comes to you, a more recent memory from a more recent life, and you realize below this bridge of splendor and beauty is where the enslaved masses of Tyr are bartered for slivers of clay.
Oh, it's the slave market?
It is the slave market.
Oh, fuck that. Why did Sapphire come here? Can I pick up their trail?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah.
Disadvantage on that because of what just happened.
All right. Ooh, 16 or 19. So 16.
16. Okay. Well, Sapphire ran across the bridge, obviously just moving past this place.
Yeah, I'll do the
no
same.
reason. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try catch up.
Okay. Back to the other group. You make your way to Gold Nynix. When you arrive there, Pressure Bay is in the Gold Nynix having a cup of broy and looking over his shoulder constantly with suspicion. And you can hear everyone inside the Gold Nynix. I mean, the news of what's been happening is moving through the crowd, but inside the Gold Nynix, hubbub is peak. Everyone's talking about what has been going on over at the Shadow Square. When you walk inside, Pressure Bay sees you, and he looks and he starts waving frantically for you to come over.
So we should.
Like, were you there when it happened?
Is he addressing Desi or all of us?
Just the group of you.
Yeah, I nod.
What happened?
We went into a trap. And I mean, Pressure didn't know what we had, did he?
Ah, man.
No, we didn't tell him
Were
about the
you
orb.
I don't
guys
think
talking
so.
about the
No,
orb?
we were
Okay.
specifically careful about not telling him about that shit.
Okay.
This whole time we've been trying to get a dangerous artifact out of our possession because it was too much for us to contain. And they knew we had it, the Defilers, and they...
Stop. I don't want to know anything else.
Yeah.
Where's Marc? Was he killed?
No. We were separated, but he will be joining us shortly.
Bad business. It's spreading through the town quickly. Everyone knows. The Templar are going to be on high alert. But I do have information for you. Were you able to connect with Omalaro before it happened?
We were.
And
She might be of use.
so she's going to help.
She's set terms.
Terms? What terms?
She wants more than coin.
She owes me. There were meant to be no terms. What terms did she give you?
Ridiculous ones.
Ones that I am not sure we will be able to fulfill.
Can you be honest with me? Nessa is a valuable contact for myself. I can't do anything to jeopardize that.
Nessa is the person's house that we're going to.
Yeah.
Were we to meet Omalaro's terms, we would certainly be jeopardizing your relationship. My assumption is that we would not meet her terms. I had very little intention of doing so.
Damn it, I should have known she would do this. She likes to test her marks and her clients. She likes to see exactly what she can get away with, push to the limit. Did you agree to her terms?
I thanked her for laying out her terms and told her that she would be hearing from us.
Okay. I'll take care of this. Can you at least tell me what she asked of you?
Yeah, I'll spill the beans. I'm not worried
Okay.
about it.
Okay, so you're going to tell him about the tiara that she wants you to get. Okay. Fuck no.
Will you
God damn it.
Hope diamond for me?
Fucking shit. No, you definitely do not try to steal from Nessa.
It seemed like a bad plan. It seemed like a bad plan for not enough payoff.
Okay.
Oh,
I
plus
will-
3 gold or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I'll talk to her. I think we can probably get away with a lesser bargain. So I've learned some details of the fight. I know who Craucus will be combating, and I know what the prize will be.
Who am I fighting?
So you are fighting a Thrycreen by the name of Huxa.
Huxa.
She is unique among Thrycreen. She is enslaved to that shithead gate guard. Mericles, what the fuck is his name?
Menvian.
Menbian?
Minvian, yes, Minvian of Sturces, I believe. She is enslaved to him. But she's unique in the sense that she is not Toxa or Jural. She belongs to a subspecies of the Thrycreen known as the Jazz. She's the only one of her kind that anyone in, I don't know, the Tablelands have seen for ages. I don't know much about her, but I know that she's been a gladiator enslaved to very
various owners for many years here in Tyr. I'm not exactly sure how long, but she's quite old for a Thrycreen.
She might be 12.
But she, from what I understand, she's fighting for her freedom. I'm sorry to put you in this position, but she has been promised that if she wins this fight tonight, she will get to participate in the games coming up for the High Sun. And if she wins during that time, she has been promised her freedom. She has 3 arms instead of 4. One was torn off in a fight some years ago. And she is black as obsidian, like the rest of the jazz. And she is brutally efficient. It makes her a great warrior, but not a very popular gladiator. They do not fight her very often because she refuses to play to the audience. That is who you'll be fighting. I know that she has quite a few abilities. I have never seen her fight because I haven't been in the city long enough and know she hasn't fought in the last year. The prize is a steel dagger. Not iron, true steel. But I hope you're ready because the fight is happening in 3 hours. Take your rests where you can.
Did he just check a sundial on his wrist?
Yeah. Hey, he's like, sundial.
Man. Well, I would hate to stand in the way of anyone's freedom, but Craucus has to win in order for our plan to go.
I have no bonds to this. Do what you will. I'm just giving you the information that I've learned. And the gate guard, he will be there, along with some other very high-profile individuals from the city.
Meta game, or this is Joe Annabi asking Aaron Campbell. Do we know where the drunken giant is?
The drunken giant is back at Shadow Square.
It was like visible from where we were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. When can we expect to hear from you about your reconvening with Omalaro?
I'll leave right now. I know where to find her. I'll be back as soon as I can. Go to your room and rest as much as you can.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You guys talk. I need to go to the bathroom really badly.
I want to turn to Desi and talk with her directly. About, and this is out loud because I don't even know if we can do meta concert without Ma'ak or whatever.
You can. Mock has it going still, so technically it's still up.
Okay, so I'll just in your mind, Desi. Then you hear Geza say Desi, and he's looking at you. We're standing close to each other, but he's not saying it out loud because just in case lingering ears or whatever. What happened today is, I must reiterate, this isn't your fault, and some maybe better choices were available maybe as a group we could have come up with something, but this isn't your fault. This isn't because you're working in a group. This isn't because you're better on your own or you're bad no matter what. We just have to work together to make ourselves better and to hopefully make the world around us better as well. That's it. And as far as I'm concerned, no one should be Tekchakok. I think that's a problematic arrangement for anyone. And that's too much pressure. And I don't know how that works in Thrycreen culture. I don't know if there's a clutch without a clutch leader, but maybe we could invent that.
Tekchakok is not clutch leader. That is my problem. I cannot be clutch leader. It is my place to support the leader.
Pardon me for choosing the wrong term, but whatever the term for clutch leader, I think it's a broken system of hierarchy and that we're better voting as a group.
Getokhos is the word you are seeking. But you should know, unlike you sleepers and this colossal, disgusting monument that permeates the middle of this city, hierarchy is not a pyramid. It is a circle.
I was worried you were talking about me.
No, Crowcus, you are a rock.
I would normally say you're magnificent, but right now you're a little spoiled.
What?
But we need to tend to that too, and maybe that's something we can look into as a part of today's rest. Maybe we can go to a place of healing and see if there's something to be done for you. And as far as the group is concerned, again, is there a structure in Thrycreen society that is more democratic and less led?
All voices are given equal weight. It is to the Tekchakok to present the best options to clutch leader or pack leader, in truth, is what I am in training to do. Not just a leader of a clutch, but a leader of clutches, a pack leader. That being said, Geza, if your suggestion is to invent something new, then there could be nothing more terrible than a Tekchakok serving himself as pack leader. May as well call me pack breaker.
No.
It is my place to support.
Ma'ak, you don't serve yourself. We all serve each other.
Then can we serve an ideal instead? Can we serve
I already do.
Literacy?
I already do, and Char already does. We've sworn ourselves to be exarchs of particular elements of Athos, but really it's Athos itself. We are for the preservation and restoration of Athos.
Well, and Char has a focus, a dwarven focus too. So that is supreme. For if there's one, I would say that, like, and this is something I'm not going to make you guys roll for, because I think you would know enough about each other to understand this. If there's one commonality between the Thrycreen and the dwarves, it's that you each have an absolute devotion to a particular ideal. For the Thrycreen, it is the clutch and the pack. For the dwarves, it is their individual focus. Now, what separates you is the fact that for the dwarf, it is about an individual focus, something incredibly personal to that individual. For the Thrycreen, it is about community. But that community is based on a real hierarchy.
Right.
Hierarchical
Absolutely.
structure. But that notion that you have a devotion to something is the one commonality that you might have.
Char, remind us, what are you devoted to beyond your Exarch devotion?
Learning the languages of all the different races to be able to unite people, mostly because of I feel like I'm responsible for the death of my mother. When I was born, she died in childbirth, and that was her job before.
She was an educator?
Mm-hmm.
And you inherited her focus.
Yeah. Your mother was translating the Camelot Book of Kings, and you inherited. Yeah, you took that on yourself.
We have, if you remember, we appear in a line of prophecy, which is the tattooed man we discovered was to be delivered into the hands of those who carry that which will change the face of Athos. Now, we carried at one point the obsidian orb, in theory, that has already changed the face of Athos. But, Geza, you carry those primers. And actually, do we know that Char has the Book of Camelot Kings? Because I think we know that as players, but I don't know if we know that as characters.
It's up to you, Char, Mark, whether or not you want the group to know that you were carrying excerpts from the Book of Kings.
As a dwarf, I am very direct and hide nothing, so yeah, they all know.
Yeah. Well, then
Okay.
you would also know that the errand that you undertook the day that you weren't able to play and Char had to go on his errand was that you were delivering those pages of the Camelot Book of Kings to the Temple of the Fire Exarchs in Tyr to hold in safeguarding, because you know that nothing is fucking safe in Tyr.
Yeah, have the fire priest guard it. Maybe it's okay.
Yeah. And so those it was not the entire book. It was a select few pages, 6 particular pages of the Camelot Book of Kings that were entrusted to you to find translations for. So, and this is going to be part of your character arc. And I'm not going to empty this out yet because we still haven't yet gotten to like the real brunt of it. But basically, you delivered those pages to the Exarchs. And what the Exarchs were going to do is inscribe those pages into cylinders that you could then keep on your person. They were then going to deliver the pages of the Camelot. Those particular pages were then going to be magically transported back to Cled, to Baroness. So that you can then go and pick up the clay cylinders and keep those on your person and use those to translate. So that's what the Exarchs are doing right now. They are transcribing those pages onto clay cylinders for you, because the Camelot Book of Kings is written on papyrus. Actual fucking paper, which is.
I need to slab it and get it sent and get graded.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Because
Not gonna be a
papyrus,
9/8.
because there's no such thing as like paper, because cotton doesn't exist in this world, and nobody makes paper out of tree pulp.
Yeah.
Because it's not a skill that exists. So papyrus is the closest thing to paper, but papyrus is worth its weight more than gold.
And it's incredibly fragile.
Well,
too.
papyrus is an aquatic plant. Wouldn't it be something more like hemp? I mean,
No,
maybe
it's-
if it's
no,
that
no,
old,
no.
though. That's cool.
That's how old it is.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, speaking of,
so-
I got some memories to share with you guys.
Yeah. So each those 6 pages of the Camelot Book of Kings are worth 600 gold pieces.
I have an
Easily.
outside of the game question, really quick.
Yeah.
If Char is good at his job, could if we found some, could I forge documents like the whole Hitler Diaries thing?
That's okay. So that's a thing that I want to do. Like, if I can find the fucking time, I want to expand proficiencies to get towards those kind of specifics.
Forgery.
Because I would assume Char, if he had the ability to transcribe stuff, would probably be a good mimic or a good forger, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's absolutely a skill that you could work towards.
Okay.
And we could even say, but I don't want to use feats. I think that they should be proficiencies. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we could, like, that's definitely a thing. And you do know how to transcribe in Dwarven because you are proficient in reading and writing Dwarven. So you can definitely, you could yourself have done the transcribing of these pages. It's just about time.
Well, also, too, the other question I have is I have a comprehend language spell.
As of today.
Yeah, as of today. So,
but so, and this is theory here, but if I found something that was written in another language and I had the ability to comprehend it, that would give me a cipher key to translate. Because I would know what the words were.
Yep.
You're a walking Rosetta Stone at this
awesome.
point.
So,
super powerful.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. I just don't. I'm just
because you could. You translate a little bit, write it down, and then when the spell wears off, you could compare what you know it says to what it looks like, and start to learn based on that.
Nobody knows that yet. No one in the game knows
Yeah.
that yet. That's
Absolutely.
something I'm going to keep close to the vest.
No,
Okay,
cool.
so as we come to a close tonight,
I want to respond to what Ma'ak was saying real quick because Ma'ak, are you implying that which reshapes all of Athos is not the orb?
I think that while the orb may reshape it in a dark way, I think perhaps the wisdom contained in those cylinders that you carry from Iban may have more potential wisdom, potential enlightenment for people than any defiler destruction can manage.
That's a very helpful reading.
While defiling magic may kill the land for 100 years, you can create dynasties with what you carry.
A famous doctor once said, "Life finds a way."
Do we know, Ma'ak? At this point, you were broadcasting everything, but I feel like you have to spend a psi point to share what you see. Did we see the face that you saw?
Which face?
You saw Defiler's face.
I did. I think we talked about that. Ma'ak would definitely have shared that, or will at some point. Like, yes, absolutely. Like everything that he knows, he would have shared or remember. And remember, Ma'ak has perfect memory, so pretty clear.
This circles back then too, that is something relevant for Char, because if we know what that one Defiler's face looked like, and Char is good at transcribing or forging or recreating. If we have I can draw a wanted poster.
Unnecessary. Drawing not required. With prestidigitation, we can create I can create a small sculpture that fits in my hand that is a replica of his face. I can create an illusory image that's not.
Too.
Yeah, you have it too. So we could open our hands and have a hologram of him there that disappears and is not a physical object for someone else to capture also. Okay. With prestidigitation, cool. We have a lot of ways to basically have a wanted poster in our hand that is not capturable.
But you have shared the memory with us, and if we need a refresher,
I think that's
you can
fair.
Zap it back into our head.
Yeah,
and
well, I mean, that was what I was trying to do with Odaleska there. I wanted to grab her right away, put her down the well, pick up their trail. It's right there. There was a dozen guys down there. You got to tell me you couldn't find them?
It's Omolaro, but Odaleska is a great name that I'm going to remember.
Oh,
that'll be a future
Omolaro. I'm sorry.
She was a prima ballerina in 1926. Odaleska. She died of tuberculosis.
So that face before Pressure Bay leaves, I want to show him that face then and be like, "Do you know this man? And if not, can you tell me if you see him?"
And I want to show it to the owner of the inn.
Yep.
She's gotta know someone who might know him. I kind of love her. She's kind of my favorite non-player character. I've written
nice.
some backstory for her in my head.
Yeah, Pressure says,
No, I've never seen him, but I'll definitely. Is there a way that you can? How can I
Yeah,
show this to other people?
I create.
An action figure.
I asked him,
we'll
would
play
you
with that
rather
or something, right?
something flat or something 3-dimensional?
What's easiest for you?
Equally easy.
3D.
Give me a little sculpture. I can keep it in my pocket as an idol.
Yeah, so I
Household
produce
idol.
that fits in the palm of his hand a 3-dimensional sculpture of his head.
And the bottom is a fleshlight.
Unspecified orifice. at
now,
bottom
when
of
you go to Mira, I believe was her name. She looks at it and she says, "No, I've not seen this man. He has not come into the Golden Inex, unfortunately. But I will keep an eye out." Now, as you're talking to her, there are two dudes who come barging into the Golden Inex. And as soon as they slam the door, as they come, they don't slam the door open because it's guarded by Jorix, the half giant. But as soon as they step in, you the rest of you back at the table where you're sitting with Pressure, you look over and you see one of them spread his arms out and he goes, "Drinks for everyone! Huzzah!" And they slaps his partner on the back. And they come in and like it is dour as shit in the Golden Inex. And when that guy says that, like there's kind of a confused murmur that runs through the crowd, like, what? But everybody goes like, okay, like sure.
Too soon, but all right.
And they're like, we had the bounty of bounties today. And they walk up. And they slap a fucking like silvers on the counter. "Drinks for everyone! We caught the glazer! We caught him!" And that piques your interest because he says the glazer. And they slap those
making glass.
No. When they slap those silvers down, they're right next to you, Char.
Mm-hmm.
Slaps those silvers down, and she looks to him and says, "What are you talking about? We caught the King's Glazier. He was making his way through the Badlands just north of the city, and we happened upon him.
I was going to sell him out. God damn it.
It's Regnus. It's Chance.
Yeah, it's Regnus. It's Chance.
Yeah. We caught him! Do you know the bounty on his head? 5 gold pieces! 5 gold pieces! Drinks on the house tonight for us! Just keep them coming! And then the other one looks to him and goes, Why the long faces? We're giving good news! Drink! And Mira says, I guess you boys did not hear about what happened in the city. What could have happened in the city today greater than us capturing the King's Glazier? Why don't you just bring it down a few notches, have your drinks, we'll spread them around. Take a seat, and I'll let you know in a few moments. Tonight's not particularly the night that everyone wants to be celebrating. Oh, okay, but I sure don't like the reception we're getting for free drinks. And the other one slaps the other guy in the back. He's like, let's just go sit down and enjoy our drinks for the night. And they go and sit down. And it's 8:00. Unless anybody has any final things, if you want to have, I don't know if you want to get into this conversation with these guys now or have a conversation with them at all. Just a quick aside, jumping back to Ma'ak real quick.
Yeah, I have this whole thing with Sapphire plan, but if you want to call it,
what's your plan with just real quick? What's your plan?
I have one more thing then to say, and then we can switch.
Yeah.
So Ma'ak will sort of end Metaconcert with the group, and it will just be him and Desi. And he will say, Desi, is it true? Do you really wish to rescind Clutch leadership?
Mm-hmm.
Who would you name as your successor?
Crocus.
Geza.
He will resist. This puts me in
Enough
awkward
to his
position.
right as clutch leader.
Well, then, I have been thinking on your and Gessa's plan. The one where the facade of a messianic figure is created. Facade, however, may not be the accurate word. For the truth remains that I too carry something that could change the face of Athos. Something that I have kept from all of you. Not from deception, I would hope, but for out of courtesy, perhaps. There is something that I know that I believe the Verdant Revival would wish to know very greatly. I'm considering sharing what I know with them. And I wish now that we had had so many more nights around the campfire where I would have shown this to you first. But it seems that I no longer need to ask your permission to do so.
What were you going to show?
The truth. The terrible, terrible truth. It's both a blessing and a curse to know what we Kreen know. For life does not end. Life continues again and again. Perhaps it is worth showing you one day, for it can show you who you were, who you are, and who you may become. And I approach Sapphire.
Okay. So you will approach Sapphire, and we'll pause from there. Back in the tavern, unless, Desi, you had anything you wanted to respond to that. Okay. So Desi remains quiet. You hope, contemplating what you just suggested. Back in the tavern, Pressure Bay returns. The two individuals, these bounty hunters that evidently captured Chance and made their huge haul, have kind of simmered down, kind of gauging the room. You can tell, like, they were hoping for a big fucking reception, a big blowout party, and nobody, like, everybody's thankful for getting free drinks, but at the end of the day, like, nobody really wants to celebrate tonight. Pressure comes back, and he approaches you, and he tells you, I'm not going to use the pressure voice, I'm just going to kind of abbreviate what he tells you. He found Omalaro and talked to her. He tells you that you're going to have to be careful with her from now on. Omalaro likes to take advantage of her clients whenever she can, always. She finds the advantage everywhere she can, and she will push you to your limit. And if she sees any notion of weakness, she'll take you for everything that she can. And because of the fact that Pressure is the one that went and resolved this, she is now probably going to see you guys as weak. And she's going to continue to try to take advantage of you wherever she can. But he was able to talk her down. You're not going to have to steal from Nessa. He made that very clear to her. She is one of his most valuable contacts. She is his source for poisons. And she tells you, Desi, if you play your cards right tonight, she can become your source for poisons as well. She is the greatest contact for poisons in the city. So anything and everything that you need, every kind of poison you could ever imagine, she can get you for the right price. However, Omalaro said that she will give up her aspirations towards the tiara so long as you deliver her to you the prize for the night, which is the steel dagger. And no one must be offended. You just have to give up that precious, precious steel.
You can give it to her right here.
And if you do that, then there'll be no more, for the time being, at least for this particular job, she won't ask anything else. But he says, in the future, if you deal with her again, all bets are off, and I can't really help you. But he says, she's really the best when it comes to Undertier that I know of. There might be better in the city, but I don't know who they are.
And that trail grows colder every minute.
Yeah. He also tells you that Omalaro had some other information about Haxa. Evidently, Haxa hails from the far southern Tier region. And I'm not sure if any of you have ever heard of this place. Yeah, you might have heard of it in passing. Everybody give me a Arcana check. No, not Arcana. Sorry, History check. History check.
Except Ma'at, right?
You're in Metaconcert still, right?
19.
It's up to you guys if you're sharing any of this stuff.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, let's just have it be the ones in the tavern. So everybody but Ma'at. Give me a History check.
19.
19?
21.
21's good?
7.
7's not good?
5.
Not good. Okay, so Cha'ar and Craucus. Weirdly
No, I
Craucus.
got a 25.
Oh,
25. Okay, so Desi,
That's better than a 5, which is what it sounded
you've
like.
actually heard of this place. You've heard of it in legend, and you never really considered it to be true. Evidently, Haxa hails from the boundaries of a place called the Deadland, which is a vast plain of pure obsidian that stretches for hundreds of miles in all direction to the south of the Tablelands. And that is where Haxa hails from. And evidently Haxa has some special connection or ability related to the undead. You also he also found out from Omalaro that this is her last chance at freedom. She's 28 years old.
Ooh. She's a grandma.
Yeah. For a Thrycreen, that is basically the end of their life.
She should have gone on her hunt like a couple years ago already.
Well, like
Last
you know,
hunt.
like around 30 is like when the final hunt.
Oh,
usually
okay.
happens.
Well, maybe it's
Yeah.
different for them too. Yeah.
Yeah. And she hopes that if she wins this fight, basically, if she wins this fight tonight, she will secure her place in the arena for the High Sun Games. And she has been told that she doesn't even need to win. As long as she survives the fight, she will be given her freedom.
I'm gonna kill her.
Yeah. and her hope is that she will go
Pull
on
her
her
other arms
final.
off.
She will go on her final hunt, and just so you know, because Ma'ak would know this. The name Haxa means lost home. So
I mean, home
Yes.
Sa is home. Yeah, no, I'm sure it does. That's awesome.
yeah, she it means lost home.
Lost home.
And her and that's it. So yeah.
Awesome. She sounds rad.
Craucus.
I hope she wins. Sorry, Craucus.
Craucus, what does winning without killing them mean?
It depends on the Lord who's in charge of the fight and the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, you
Usually
know that
if
this
the
is a submission bout. Like it's not supposed to be a fatal fight.
Okay.
No weapons are going to be allowed in this fight.
Oh, okay.
Oh, then.
This is fists and natural abilities only.
Oh, I'm gonna rip
she has
her
3
legs
claws
off.
in a bite, though.
Oh no.
And she is mature enough that she has her poison. Definitely, she definitely has poison.
Yeah, I'm just gonna split her in half.
Oh no.
I'm going to
Wanna
take
see
her
you try.
other arms.
No heartstrings getting pulled here tonight.
No, I'm gonna send
Oh, her
her to
heartstrings
hell.
are getting pulled out of her chest. That's happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna use her guts as a guitar. Just
Yeah.
Don't Thrycreens taste good in butter like king crab?
I think that's a good ending note.
That's a good
Probably
thing.
tastes like
Okay, and
locusts.
so because I don't want to forget to again. Okay, so let's pause there and let's do karma beads. Now, first, I want to give out bonus XP, and I'm going to give bonus XP tonight to Rob and Mark because I really enjoyed the tete-a-tete between you two. I think you got really into it, really well. You exemplified your race, your characters. So we will start with Mark. Where would you like your bead to go? And once again, Mark.
Don't I only have one choice?
Yeah, like right now you have. Yeah.
Well,
you
now
can-
we
you
have
can-
the-
Well, you can put it into signpost.
Oh,
or
yeah,
you can
we
put it
use
into
signpost,
campaign.
right?
I'll put it in a signpost because we don't have
Okay.
it anywhere.
And then there's personal leveling now too, but you may not have a jar for that.
And that is a good bead. Positive karma bead for signpost.
Cool.
Cool.
And okay, and you know what? I do need to notate this because I do need to make sure that I haven't been keeping notes during session very well. So let's do Mark. Do blue. Okay. And Rob.
I'm gonna finish out Arc.
Finish out arc. Okay, you have 2 black beads right now.
Yeah, I know.
Holy shit.
Oh,
It's
oh,
for once.
no!
This is actually a no-win situation. Last
oh
time,
my
dude,
God!
two, 4 black beads is also 2 blue beads, which is like rock paper scissors. This is at least is like this is no win. This is no win.
No,
get
I
it.
mean, Yeah, well, last time, like, those blue beads got you those potions that saved that. Because otherwise,
all right. Yeah, we didn't.
Oh no, Zomar's gonna own you so hard.
Oh, God.
Man.
I got to think about this. Holy shit. Okay.
I think
now,
the female Threat Queen's going to put him in drag and make him fight.
or maybe I'll make Ma'ak fall madly in love with.
I can't. I already had
Rakasa?
my life mate.
I know you did, but 3 black beads.
Yeah.
Maybe-
Okay. Fine.
maybe
yeah,
there's
she's a different
precedent.
race, right? Different
Yeah.
pheromones, maybe. I don't know.
I hear once you go
Gaez,
black
you've
beads, you
never
never
seen
go
a
back.
Gaez. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you never know.
Oh,
Like,
God, that's bad. Oh God, that's bad. All right, bring it on. Bring it on.
I don't know. I kind of want to talk to you about it, but we'll do that next. Okay, so
We'll
now
figure it
let's
out.
go.
That'll be
Now let's go through standard procedure, and we're going to start with Mark again at the top. Okay, so now just for session, because this was as far as I'm concerned a milestone. So where do you want your next speed to go, Mark?
And what are the choices? That's still signpost or?
It's yes for you. It's signpost and campaign.
Wait, are we not doing personal leveling? When does that
It is
start?
no. It is personal level. So that means that Mark is getting 2.
Oh,
tonight.
okay.
Signpost, I guess.
Signpost. Okay, so
that
signpost is going
finishes
to be
it
full, and signpost is blue.
Nice.
So you
nice.
have. Oh,
All right.
good. So next time everything's going to come up
We
Millhouse.
might actually find a clue where that fucking orb
Yeah.
went.
Okay, Joe,
Awesome.
Annabi, where would you like yours? And just so you know, you have your arc is full, so you should be expecting a very positive outcome for your personal arc coming up soon. But you have nothing inspiration, signpost, and campaign. No, signpost is full, so you have campaign or inspiration.
Let's do campaign.
Campaign. Black.
Shit.
Okay, so it's 1 black, 1 blue. Hold on, let me let's see.
There's 2 in campaign now, right?
It's black. Yeah, there's 2.
Okay.
Mark had a blue in signpost, so that's 2 blue. Okay. Now, Millard.
What's the one I have the least in?
You have all of your arcs too. Oh, wait, no, sorry, that's the wrong cut. You are here. You have all of your arc, which is going to be coming up. We already know that it's going to be coming up with your fight.
Yeah.
So, actually, I wonder. No, okay. Let's keep this simple. You have 1 in inspiration. You have a black bead in inspiration, so you have room for 1 more inspiration bead, and campaign.
All right, let's do inspo.
Okay. Black.
There it is.
You
Okay.
got 2 stink fingers now.
Yeah. 2 sting fingers you can give to the world. Okay.
Well, when
course,
you're
those
fighting
go back
a
into the pot.
seasoned gladiator, it might not be a bad idea to have somebody fail their grapple check or something. you
Yeah.
know?
Oh yeah, you could, because you'll be able to use both of those during the next fight if you want to. And
Then it goes back into circulation.
back into circulation. Emelie,
Campaign?
campaign. Blue bead.
Nice.
So that's 2 blue, 1 black, and last, Rob.
Okay. I don't have any in inspiration, so I'm gonna take 1.
Okay. Blue.
Blue, nice. Okay, that's cool. I like Ma'ak is taking the high road, so
Okay. So Emelie got a. What was that? That was a blue bead, and that was a lot of blue beads tonight. And Rob got a blue. Okay. All right. So that's all the karma beads out of the way, and that is tonight's session. We will see everyone in 2 weeks. Tonight was a great game, guys. Lots of good role playing. Great way to come back from a month on hiatus. And we'll see you everybody in 2 weeks. Say
Okay.
good night, everybody.
Wave good night, everyone.
thanks
Hey,
all.
everybody.
Goodbye.